We're continuing our Saigyo poetry as the Cherry Blossom Festival because the weather is frightening, so we have to read poetry. All right. This is a new document from Andrew Meyer. Now we're going to the University of Pennsylvania. It's called The Journey Itself Home, Saigyo's Way of Impermanence, repository.upenn.edu. It's actually within the travel forum. It seems to be he's fallen under the travel section of travel bloggers. Anyways, now we're going to Japan to look at cherry blossoms. Anyways, this poem is called Delicate Dewdrops. On a spider's web are the pearls strung on necklaces. Worn in the world man spins, a world quickly vanishing. Man's attachments are futile. Anyways, delicate dewdrops on a spider's web are the pearls strung on necklaces. Worn in the world man spins, a world quickly vanishing. The world of impermanence. During his early years, he lived in a hermitage, pursuing life distanced from the secular world. While in seclusion, he writes this poem. To think you've thrown the world away and then still live unhidden is to be like any other worldling, still dwelling in the world of men. So to think you've thrown the world away and then still live unhidden is to be like any other worldling, still dwelling in the world of men. Seem again. It was not sufficient. While the seclusion accommodated for a hermit's life was peaceful enough for most to pursue spiritual paths, it was not sufficient for Saigyo. Something happened. He got a lot of city dwellers visiting. To think you've thrown the world away and then still live unhidden is to be like any other worldling, still dwelling in the world of men. Because of his proximity to Rin, city dwellers often pass through his area on walks and day trips, making his life unhidden. Oh.
He wants to be one with the world.
He needed more seclusion, remember?
He wants exposure. Don't you remember the scarecrow?
No, sometimes he wanted to be alone and he only wanted visitors when the cherry blossoms came.
He was just wandering sometimes, but he wanted to be in the world. With all the beautiful things around, he appreciated beauty.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to be on a spiritual path also, and he's got
beauty and spirituality become
he's
one.
Still, if your mind is still like in the city and you're in a secluded hut, you're still not. I don't know.
Even the master is against seclusion.
Your mind isn't free. Anyways, due to attachments and delusion, society inhibits Saigyo's spiritual and aesthetic proofs. It is therefore not surprised that the emerging clarity of his mind after banning is evident. Now he writes this. The guardhouse at famed Surakawa Gate, now ruined, lets the moon filter in. Its shaft is like having another staying here. In the midst of his journey, Saigyo stops at the Suragawa guardhouse, a location made famous in poetry as a symbolic, traditional symbol of the barrier separating the civilized culture centers of the South from the agrarian, backward cultures of the North. Okay, and then a similar poem we have, Union of Nature and Sacred. He has a poem. This leaky, tumble-down grass hut left an opening for the moon, and I gazed at it. All the while it was mirrored in a teardrop falling on my sleeve. We heard that one. Remember that one? It falls into the category the literature of grass hermitages in Japanese poetic tradition. The tradition of having a grass. Should we have a grass house in Japan? Symbolizes poverty and simplicity, and symbol of the hut. The hermit's hut, the experience of loneliness, poverty, simplicity, physical suffering. Oh no. I can't take a grass hut. It's going to be way too...
Super simplicity.
I suppose, I mean, what are you going to stay on? Now we have another poem here. It's uses a traditional symbol of the hermit's hut. It's a hut that may be a symbol of impermanence. Nowhere is this their place to stop and live, so only everywhere will do. Each and every grass-made hut soon leaves its place within this withering world. Oh, he says he's going to live everywhere. Nowhere is their place to stop and live, so only everywhere will do. Each and every grass-made hut soon leaves its place within this withering world. That's the thesis of this transitory world, that everywhere is home. Everywhere is home for Saigyo. Because no place can be properly called home, everywhere is home. Well, you should be at home everywhere, basically. Wouldn't you not?
Well, they say home is where you are.
Home is where you are. It's not, you don't have a home. Come on. It's where you are. Okay, here he's journeying through nature. We have snow has fallen on field paths and mountain paths, burying them all. And I can't tell here from there my journey in the midst of sky. Now his whole field is white. I mean, how do you travel when the path is covered with snow? The divergent paths our covered seem to represent duality between field and mountain, high and low, the idea of path in general, the product of human activity. To follow the path of others or leave a trail is to participate in the world of man and live out of contact with nature and the sacred. But he describes my journey in the mist of sky. Sora, signifying sky in the verse, connotates the Buddhist idea of emptiness. I'm going to read this poem again. Snow has fallen on field paths and mountain paths, burying them all. I can't tell here from there. My journey in the mist of sky. Hmm. Well, there's lots of discussion. We can have some analysts analyze.
The sky he refers to the moon because
There
reflecting on the moon.
clearly we have symbols, and this religious, like Saigyo.
The sky of his mind, he meant. With the moon.
Of course. We have lots of religion here. The dialectic expressed in the following. Here we have a new poem. We'll just read the poem. Cloud-free mountains.
I remember that one.
Cloud-free mountains encircle the sea, which holds the reflected moon. This transforms islands into emptiness holes in a sea of ice. We haven't seen this one. Cloud-free mountains encircle the sea, which holds the reflected moon, that transforms islands into emptiness holes in a sea of ice.
Take a photograph on this point.
We will during the recess. Okay, I'll have my secretary send it. Saigyo looks down upon the sea. The moon reflects in the thing, and da-da-da-da-da. Self-consciously metaphysical. Now the analysts have something to say. The analyst. We have an analyst? I'll have to go to the analyst. Here we have something here, state affairs. Here's a poem. There's no gap or break in the ranks of those marching under the hill. An endless line of dying men coming on and on and on. Something's gone wrong here. He's opposing to warfare. Apparently he did have, they had some problems with the, remember he had tried to get away from the news? He wouldn't watch the news. He said, I'm not watching the news.
Why don't you read the poem again?
I just read it. He said there was warfare going on here, and he doesn't want to be involved. There's no gap or break in the ranks of those marching under the hill. An endless line of dying men coming on and on and on. All right. Well, that's one of his poems. He's anti-warfare. Here's another. He felt attached to this place of beauty. Okay, now throughout, he went to Mount Oshino, where they had the beautiful cherry blossoms, which was what we're supposed to read here. Poem, why do I, who broke so completely with this world, find in my body still the pulsing of a heart once dyed in blossoms' hues? Detached observer of blossoms finds himself in time intimate with them. So when they separate from the branch, it's he who falls deeply into grief. Why do I, who broke so completely with this world, find in my body still the pulsing of a heart once dyed in blossoms' hues? Detached observer of blossoms finds himself in time intimate with them. So when they separate from the branch, it's he who falls deeply into grief.